Greetings, Midians, it is I, the Flaming Monocle, here once again with my very, very good friend T-Dude.
Hello!
Who is abroad whilst I'm in Germany. And, my sincerest apologies for the last video, for the quality of my audio may have suffered as a result of me not having recorded the audio. Or should I say, my recordo bot not recording the audio properly. He has duly been completely obliterated, and now I'm definitely recording some very nice audio for you people at home. Without further ado, shall we continue into the 39 steps, T-Dude?
Yes! Let's get deep into this mystery, this Scottish mystery.
A Pack of Lies is the next episode.
Oh.
A lack of pies.
That would be disastrous for Scotland. A lack of pies.
Who ate all the pies? No, really. Tuesday,
The land
26th
of
May,
pies and
1914,
honey.
The inn in Scotland. This is a lovely room.
It's alright.
The next morning, I witnessed from my room the arrival of 2 constables and a sergeant.
Yeah. They didn't sleep in, which is good.
They put their car in a coach house under the innkeeper's instructions and entered the house. 20 minutes later, I saw from my window a second car come across the plateau from the opposite direction. It did not come up to the inn, but stopped 200 yards off in the shelter of a patch of wood. I noticed that its occupants carefully reversed it before leaving it. My plan had been to lie hid in my bedroom and see what happened. I had a notion that, if I could bring the police and my other more dangerous pursuers together, something might work out of it to my advantage. But now I had a better idea. I drank a scotch.
And set fire to the bed.
Oh, it says open next to the bed, and then it says right next to the desk.
Run
So I'm
or
guessing-
right?
Yeah, is this actually an element where I get to control the story? I'm going to press right.
Well, certainly the camera. Do right. Go on, have a look.
I get to write with writing.
Oh, God.
Thank you. Down. Oh, okay.
What?
He just wrote a note that said thank you.
Alright, now escape, I suppose.
Oh, open window.
Oh.
No.
This is drunko-vision, isn't it?
It is drunko vision. I've never spent so long opening a window in my life.
Whoa, he's fast.
He is fast. And over the hills I ran. Oh, he's going to steal their car.
Wow.
Crank it up. Oh, I see. Opening the window takes 10 years of my life and several directions on the mouse. But if I want to start a car, I just click the button.
Bloody hell.
I stole gently out onto the plateau. Collected touring car.
Well, that's better than collecting that other guy. That's a bit
The
weird.
wind seemed to bring me the sound of angry voices.
You may picture me driving that 40 HP car for all she was worth over the crisp moor roads on that shining May morning, glancing back at first over my shoulder and looking anxiously to the next turning, then driving with a vague eye just wide enough awake to keep on the highway, where I was thinking desperately of what I had found in Scudder's pocketbook.
So he's found some stuff in Scudder's book and now he's falling asleep while driving. Nope. Oh my god.
No, it's
Scudder's
hallucinating.
Scudder's
different.
notebook deciphered, so it's going to now... I've got 6 things to click on now. So, if I
Well,
suppose start somewhere.
Go from left to right.
Okie dokie.
The 15th day of June was going to be a day of destiny, a bigger destiny than the killing of a Dago. It was so big that I didn't blame Scudder for keeping me out of the game and wanting to play a lone hand. That, I was pretty clear, was his intention.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Despite all the nonsense talked in Parliament, there was a real working alliance between France and Britain, and the two general staffs met every now and then and made plans for joint action in case of war. Well, in June, a very great swell was coming over from Paris, and he was going to get nothing less than a statement of the disposition of the British Home Fleet on mobilization. It was something uncommonly important.
So Britain and France at it again.
Yep.
The bare bones of the tale were all that was in the book. These, and one queer phrase which occurred half a dozen times inside brackets. 39 steps was the phrase. And at its last time of use it ran, 39 steps, I counted them. High tide, 10:17 p.m. I could make nothing of that.
39 steps. I counted them. High tide, 10:17 p.m. Well. Blackstone in England, 39 steps. Blackstone in Scotland. Blackstone set Europe to war.
Yes.
It was no question of preventing a war. That was coming, as sure as Christmas. Had been arranged, said Scudder, ever since February 1912. Carolides was going to be the occasion.
Carolides is a very important person.
This war was going to come as a mighty surprise to Britain. Carolides' death would set the Balkans by the ears, and then Vienna would chip in with an ultimatum. Russia wouldn't like that, and there would be high words, but Berlin would play the peacemaker and pour oil on the waters, till suddenly she would find a good cause for a quarrel, pick it up, and in 5 hours let fly at us. That was the idea, and a pretty good one too.
Avocado 415, it said there.
The 415 avocado.
Shopping list. So, okay.
This war was going to come as a mighty surprise.
Already had that one. No.
Carolides is dead.
Oh, we'll have to listen to it again.
Oh, it's
I
all
dare
right.
not-
You can talk over this one then.
Yeah, well, obviously the
Russia
this is all about the inevitable
there would be high
plunging into the Great War,
Berlin would play the peacemaker.
and it's all been arranged because of this
Till
Carolides
suddenly she
thing.
would find a good cause for a quarrel.
Yes, sort of. It's the Blackstone are they're like
That was the idea.
a group of people.
This is Berlin Peacemaker double cross attacks in 5 hours.
The whole story was in the notes, with gaps, you understand, which he would have filled up from his memory. He stuck down his authorities too, and had an odd trick of giving them all a numerical value and then striking a balance, which stood for the reliability of each stage in the yarn.
Gosh. So, Europe's doomed, basically.
Yes, effectively.
Oh, another aeroplane. In glorious 3 frames per second.
Ah,
On the bare moor, I was at the aeroplane's mercy. My only chance was to get to the leafy cover of the valley.
stop standing on tall hills.
Then came a thick wood where I slackened my speed in my 40 horsepower touring car.
Right over crest, through waterfall.
A bend, through the trees. Suddenly I heard the hooting of another car, and realised upon my horror that I was almost upon a couple of gateposts through which a private road debouched on the highway. I clapped on my brakes, but my impetus was too great. I did the only thing possible and ran slap into the hedge on the right, which was a cliff.
There's a very eloquent way of describing a car bugger-up crash.
Yep. Oh. There's proper Thelma and Louise stuff. Thelma. A branch of
Ferris
hawthorn
Bueller's
got me in the
Bad
chest,
Day.
lifted me up and held me, while a ton or two of expensive metal slipped below. Expensive metal slipped below. Slowly, that thorn let me go. As I scrambled to my feet, a hand took me by the arm. I found myself looking at a tall young man.
His name was
I
Death.
say, bless me, I'm dreadfully sorry. Are you hurt? Really, I must apologise. Oh, bless my soul. Do tell me you're all right.
My blame, sir. It's lucky that I did not add homicide to my follies. Well, that's the end of my Scotch motor tour. Or it might have been the end of my life.
He plucked out a watch and studied it.
You're the right sort of fellow. I can spare a quarter of an hour, and my house is 2 minutes off. I'll see you clothed and fed and snug in bed. Where's your kit, by the way? Is it in the burn along with the car?
It's in my pocket.
A toothbrush?
I'm a colonial. Travel light.
A colonial? By gad, you're the very man I've been praying for. Are you by any blessed chance a free trader?
A free trader? I am.
Oh, good show.
That's the politest collision I've ever seen.
That's exactly how all car crashes in England happen, by the way.
I will see you in new clothes and warm in my bed. What?
What? And don't worry, I'll be right next to you.
Do you have a toothbrush?
Oh, that'll not do. He patted my shoulder and hurried me into his car.
What about all the expensive metal he left behind?
Never mind, eh?
It wasn't his anyway, was it? So.
Presently, we drew up before a comfortable-looking shooting box, and he ushered me indoors. We call them houses. First, he flung half a dozen of his suits before me, for my own had been pretty well reduced to rags. I selected a loose blue serge, which differed most conspicuously from my former garments, and borrowed a linen collar. Then he hailed me to the dining room.
He's borrowing a lot of stuff.
Thank you. You find me in a deuce of a mess, Mr... by the by, you haven't told me your name. Twiston. Twiston? Any relation to old Tommy Twiston of the 60th? No? Oh, well. Well, you see, I'm the Liberal candidate for this part of the world, and I had a meeting on tonight at Brattleburn, and that's my chief town, in an infernal Tory stronghold. I'd got the colonial ex-premier fellow, Crumpleton, coming to speak for me tonight.
Crumpleton, love it.
And had the thing tremendously billed, and the whole place ground-baited. This afternoon, I had a wire from the ruffian saying he'd got influenza at Blackpool. And here I am, left to do the whole
Ruffian.
thing
My favourite
myself.
word.
I had meant to speak for 10 minutes, and now must go on for 40. And though I've been racking my brains for 3 hours to think of something, I simply cannot last the course. Now, you've got to be a good chap and help me. You're a free trader and can tell our people what a washout protection is in the colonies. All you fellows have the gift of the gab. I wish to heaven I had it. I'll be forever more in your debt.
I had very few notions about free trade, but I saw no other chance of getting what I wanted.
All right. I'm not much good as a speaker, but I'll tell them a bit about Australia.
Oh.
At my words, the cares of the ages slipped from his shoulders. Collected Sir Harry. He lent me a big driving coat, and never troubled to ask why I'd started on a motor tour without possessing an ulster. Because everyone knows what an ulster is. It's like an A to Z. As we slipped down the dusty roads, the young man poured into my ears the simple facts of his history. Sir Harry. Interests. He knew about horses and jawed away about the Derby entries, and he was full of plans for improving his shooting. Childhood. Sir Harry was orphaned at an early age and was brought up by his uncle, who was a member of the British cabinet. The young man today. He'd gone round the world after leaving Cambridge, and then, being short of a job, his uncle had advised politics. But he had no preference in parties. He was Liberal because his family had always been Whigs. His uncle pulled a few strings and posted Harry in Tweedaddle as the Liberal candidate, without any hope of him winning over its Conservative constituents. Oh, what a shame.
This is what happens, by the way. Car crashes get you involved in politics.
Indeed. For those of you who are not decent enough to die in the car crash. Altogether, a very clean, decent, callow young man, except for the politics.
What are you saying?
New event, the radical candidate. What? That was easily the shortest episode ever. How long was that, sir?
Yeah. That was 15 minutes.
16 minutes? I don't know about that. Maybe we just call this one a shorty, and then do the next one.
Okie dokie.
Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen, but unfortunately we can't tell you exactly how long these chapters are going to go on for, so I do hope that you'll join T-Dude and I, the Flaming Monocle, the next time that we play the 39 Steps. Anything you care to add, sir, before we leave?
Well, no, only that, be careful what you do between watching this one and the next one, because, car crashes equal politics, and, stay away from spy planes. That's all I have to add.
Indeed. And do drive safe, and we'll see you next
Please
time.
do.
Ta-da!
Bye!